appointment of Joe Lopez to the for the 2 properties. You know, on the amendment, on the agenda, it says nothing about that. Not one word. I don't know that that's legal to do. I'm sure our city attorney can give you a decision. I'm not an attorney, but I think it has to be on the agenda before you can do something like that. But it wasn't on the agenda, was it? Now, let's talk about that 3 o'clock meeting. There were at least somebody in the audience at home watching. What was most interesting, and I've already spoken to one about it, right across the middle of the page, it said June 3rd, 2014. Yes, indeed, live June 3rd, 2014. Somebody behind, the little people behind the wall that do those sort of things, didn't even know what month it was, let alone what year it was. You know, I find that kind of sad. And especially, you know, to say that I was at the MID meeting earlier in the week when they turned around and said, you know, because they have the right, we're going to extend our terms of service to 5 years instead of going to 3. You know, I was really disappointed today that that's the way you went. Now, I know you have to ask the public about it, and they don't. I appreciate that. But it would have been nice. I thought it was a little disingenuous of Mr. Gruel to go, well, now, you people that served before had 4 the first time, and I only had 3 the second. That'll get you a year. Wait a second. The thing is, you were trying to raise money for another office just a couple months ago. So your idea of what's going to happen 4 years from now, you're probably going to be somewhere else. Or did you give that money back that you raised? Mr. Mann would probably like it. I don't know. Maybe you're going to apply it to your next election. You wonder how I know that, don't you? Driving you crazy. Okay. Was that legal for you to make that appointment earlier today when it wasn't on the agenda? I'll ask you, Mayor, because I can't ask him unless you ask him. To put Joe Lopez on there, since it wasn't on the published agenda and it wasn't online? I have to ask that. And should I have been allowed to have an opportunity to speak when you made the appointment at Duke Leffler? Those questions are both burning in my mind. Because I would like about 2 minutes to speak on the Comprehensive Fee Commission. But since I'm not going to get a response from anybody, gotta love the silence. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're going to have 5 more years of the same. Somebody's got to hold this man accountable at some point in time, or I went on your list of people that you give $2 million extra to. It's coming out of my pocket. It's coming out of theirs. Nobody's holding anybody accountable. I'm not saying it was fraud. I'm not saying it wasn't incompetence. I'm saying that I don't know and you don't know. And as long as he's not held accountable, nobody's going to know.
Hold on, Mr. Drake. I think Councilman Raw, you may have a question, or
I would like to know the answer to that question, his question that he had. Can you check and see?
The appointment question?
Yeah.
We announced at the agenda review meeting a publicly scheduled, publicly open meeting on Monday afternoon that we were going to be amending those 2 agenda items to add an additional property negotiator. All that item does is allow Mr. Lopez to participate as the real property negotiators in those discussions, in addition to the city attorney. That's all it does.
Aren't you required to give us a 48-hour notice? Posted notice? Was this an emergency?
Not to make a minor amendment to it.
Oh, this is minor, because it doesn't matter much. How many more other things? How about the...
Thank you for answering that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Councilman.
And what about the question earlier? Was that an action item? Should the public been allowed the opportunity to speak?
That's okay.
appointments, typically we don't have
action item.
Input on.
Took a vote.
I'm just saying typically.
I understand.
I don't know if you can answer that.
You are welcome to speak on those items. You are welcome to speak on appointments.
Okay, well, the thing is, it's come and gone. The opportunity wasn't presented to the public. Can I have 2 minutes since I'm the last? I'm not asking for the full 5. It won't take that long.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, when I saw on the agenda that you're going to make the appointment, I didn't think it was a bad appointment necessarily. But I brought up the Comprehensive Task Force, Comprehensive Fee Task Force, and I looked at the members. And, you know, they were kind of interesting because you've got that section in there called Citizens at Large. So you'd think, okay, this is going to be a wide spectrum of citizens. You know, it's going to be from all sorts. But they seem to be centered around certain things. One of the gentlemen is David White from WorkNet, the Alliance, however you want to say it. just happens to be, oh, yeah, member of the Chamber of Commerce. J. David Wright, insurance, nice guy. Of course, he ran for office and he happens to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Now, I couldn't find out for sure whether the Stanislaus Community Foundation is actually a member of the Chamber of Commerce. That would be Joe Duran, one of the other members at large. The last one, Sandra Lucas, happens to be on your planning commission. Now, if you ask me, and nobody has, I'm not real sure that those are members of the citizens at large. You know, if you want to stack a committee, you stack the committee quite well. You know, 3 ties out of the 4 people to the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. Now, I'm sure some people don't think that's wrong. And I'm not saying necessarily that it is. But it's sure not representatives of the citizens at large. Not at all. And I ask next time that you look for some diversity when it comes time to appointing somebody to these task forces. I don't think that's too much to ask. And I don't think I took more than 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Drake.